Hey yogis. Hi. Does that look awkward? I feel awkward. Hello. Like I'm on a float. Hello. A punk rock float. Anyway, so I posted something about diagonal chaturanga and nobody understood what I was talking about except for a couple of people who have learned it with me. So I want to make sure that you understand how to do this move because it can save your shoulders forever, is my hope for you. Way longer than doing classical chaturanga, which was, if you don't know this, just a Western gymnast push-up that Krishnamacharya took and was like, hey, let's add this to our warm-up for the Indian boys. So it wasn't carved out of rock 5,000 years ago or anything. It's a push-up, and if you do it incorrectly, or even if you do it repetitively for enough years, it is extremely straining on this area, the top area of the shoulder, where the rotator cuffs turn into connective tissue more. There's not really muscle up there, so you're just straining and straining and straining. Now here's the issue with chaturanga. When you come down, this would be a classical chaturanga positioning, right? The pelvis has to be really lifted, the front lumbar in, so you're not hanging in the lumbar spine. So that's fine, but as you start to lower down, to get really good physics where your elbows are about over your wrists here, so they're not coming back and straining, and you'll totally weaken this way and strain your elbow joints and get and lose power. People will do that and then dump way down, or they'll come forward, which is also very straining on the arms. You can start to feel it right here at the top of your shoulders when you start lowering down. A lot of people, I know, just see this in class now and maybe even in your own practice, if you film it with an eye, have someone film you and see if you're doing it, but is to, I'm in a Greenwich Village studio. There's no room, literally no room for yoga. I've said literally way too many times now. I'm stopping. All right, so you come down and people, I'm going to put my knees in. I don't want to do this once. People will drop their shoulders down below their elbows. So let's just freeze that positioning for a moment. And I'll try to get up. Put it like that. How much of your day do you want to spend in this position? I mean, it's absolutely horrifying for the neck and the shoulders, not to mention that you're putting your body weight into a really bad fulcrum, physics-wise, biomechanics-wise, so now you're getting a lot of pressure here, so cancel, 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 we're done with it. Here's how I teach this nowadays. I don't do chaturanga anymore in my own practice, and any little shoulder issues that I had starting, elbow and wrist issues, dunzo, gone. Okay, and this is very challenging for people too, so don't be afraid if you're a teacher. If you bring this into your classes, people aren't going to like it. They're going to love it, and if you feel like they need more of a challenge, have them lower down for 3 to 5 seconds. Ding, done. Okay, so what I do is I come forward. Now, core strength vinyasa yoga style, of course, is a little bit different. We move biomechanically instead of classically only. So when I come forward to plank, I'm already going to be lifting up into my front sacrum and front lumbar. So that's going to look like not a hard round to push out the SI joint back there, but a lift along that front lumbar spine. You can think of it deep behind the low belly, not just crunching the low belly here at all, but lifting the front lumbar. We put the knees down once we're there. Maybe I've held that for a couple breaths or so. Draw up through that front lumbar a lot, so you're not hanging out in the low back, of course. And then on the exhale, as you start to lean the heart forward, slide the heart forward of the hands a little bit, keep that front spine lifting. Now, getting people to really do that is very core strengthening for a deeper core set of 2 muscles called the psoas, and these are your real core that stabilize your spine. So anyway, we're lifting up here, not worrying so much about how far down we go. I want you to start diagonally lowering down so that your pubic bone would hit the floor first. Notice, my belly and front spine in. My pubic bone is coming down toward the floor, and my shoulders, look at them, they really lifted, way higher than my elbows, so the pubic bone hits the floor. I'm here, the shoulders do not dump now, a lot of people will dump them, and you just begin to lower down to the chest and point the toes, deep breath in here. On your exhale, you'll draw back into that low lumbar from the front, rolling in and up a little bit, so you can support that low back curve to open. And on the exhale, keep the knees down. Press the hands down and lift up along that front lumbar again. So you see I'm never dipping. I'm always here in alignment. And tuck the toes under, come back to down dog. Try that in a Q if you're going to flow the class. Inhale, bend the knees here. Exhale, lift up into that front lumbar spine and unscroll yourself forward into plank. Keep that front pelvis tipped upward. Bring the knees down and slowly lower down, diagonal chaturanga. Keep that belly up, keep that front spine up. Lower down, pubic bone comes down first and then the chest. Inhale here. Exhale. Draw in and up along that front lumbar. Inhale to fill the chest, feels good. Exhale, knees down, front spine up, and dog. One last time. Here's a little bit more advanced version of that. Bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, draw up through that front lumbar, and lightly roll yourself forward. Inhale here. On the exhale, knees down, front lumbar up, 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 up. As you lower down, keep those shoulders lifted. Inhale. Exhale, roll in and up along that front lumbar. Open the chest, press down into the earth. Let those collarbones be neutral with the armpits back. Up dog, inhale. On your exhale, keep your knees lifted this time. Press into the floor, lift up your front lumbar, and tone the psoas muscles as you move it back to down dog. Just step over one foot and then the other. Inhale here in down dog. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Fierce lion breath. And let it go. So that's your diagonal chaturanga tutelage for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Work on that. Keep those shoulders higher than the elbows. Keep that front pelvis drawn way in and up. Front lumbar too, in and up with a long spine. So we're not crunching and contracting to do that, but nice and long and core strong. Let me know how it goes. Namaste.